Hi Leos, happy birthday and welcome to your August 2019 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And also for those of you who'd like to book a personal reading with me, follow me on Instagram or donate to the channel. Just check out the description of the video. You can find all the information on that over there. Alright, so for those of you who are used to watching my regular videos, you'll notice that there's different tarot cards on the table and also it's a different spread altogether. So let's cover that real quick. On the left side, we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side, we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And then the name of this spread, I call it the Bridging the Gap spread. And the way it works is the energies, the cards rather on this side represent your energies towards the connection with your main love interest. Energies on this side represent their energy towards the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies. And then when we're done with the main spread, we'll actually try to pull some oracle cards to get some additional insight to help tie everything together. That's where the bridging the gap element comes into play. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get into it. In the past position on your side, we have Justice. So this is a major arcana card for Libra. So, you know, some of you might have a Libra placement in addition to your Leo placement. That's one way it could play out. But more than anything, what I'm seeing with this is it's just saying that, you know, you were trying to really bring balance to the connection with this person. You had the mentality of fairness. And then Libras represents the 7th house in general. So this could also just be pointing to you having, you know, just a vision of them being long-term commitment material in your eyes. So that could be a way it's playing out. But I don't know if this is going to register for all of you, but something that was coming through for me pretty heavily with this actually is I'm getting the feeling that you're at a distance from this person. The reason I say that is, you know, it looks like there is a person behind that curtain there, but I almost get the feeling like, you know, they haven't been around you lately. You know, you guys might be living in separate areas. But to me, with the Justice card, that would just be saying that, you know, even if you guys have been separated by distance, that you have been remaining faithful and loyal in the meantime. And what I'm seeing here too is, you know, for let's say, for example, maybe the person you're with is in the military or you're in the military. So obviously, you know, maybe there's separation, either you or they got deployed, right? And it's saying that, you know, in the past that even with that separation, that you were actually remaining faithful to the connection. And, you know, this could just be saying you might have been working on other things in the meantime. Like, okay, I'm not with this person right now, but I'm going to just focus on my hobbies, you know, keep myself busy in the meantime and, you know, not entertain any other offers. So hopefully that resonated for some of you. And then also I should point out for you guys, Libra is your 3rd house of communication too. So this could just be saying that you've been very communicative with the person. Past energy on their side is the Knave of Chalices. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Cups. So this actually could represent a water sign. It wouldn't necessarily point to any particular water sign, so it could be, you know, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But with the Knave of Chalices in the past, this could just say that they might have made an offer to you. And that could be another way it's playing out too. You know, maybe you felt the offer wasn't to the level you were expecting. You know, maybe this is saying that you have, as far as the justice angle, right? Like you felt you deserved more of a serious offer from them. Because, you know, I almost look at their energy too. It looks like they're writing something, right? With the paper on the table and everything. So I get the feeling like they were writing something, but they look like they're frustrated too, you know? So maybe they made offers to you in the past and you were just like staying in this energy like, yeah, I saw that offer, but I'm good, you know? So, but still, that's the, you know, the impression you gave them on the surface, but at the same time, you weren't entertaining other offers either. So that's the main thing I'm getting at. Even if that is that energy where you felt the offer they made to you just wasn't as high of a level of an offer as you were hoping for, you might have just been, you know, brushing it off, but not necessarily pursuing anyone else or letting anyone else get into the picture, but just kind of, I hate to say it, but maybe in a bit of a passive aggressive way, trying to communicate to them that, oh, all right, yeah, that was a good offer, but I'm going to need something more than that in order for me to come your way, basically. So that's the vibe I'm getting there, just because they look a little frustrated. And when I think about the Page of Cups energy in the Rider Waite, for example, I always point out to people that the person has a cup with a fish jumping out of it. So it's like, you could definitely do better than that if you're offering the cup to someone, right? Now, but you make sure you don't have a freaking fish in it before you try to offer it to someone. So it could just be one of those things where you're standing your ground in a way to try to see if they'll offer you something a bit more stable. In the present position on your side, we have contemplation. This is actually the equivalent of the Hermit card, which is the major arcana card for Virgo. So, could be pointing to a timeline, since towards the end of August we will be in Virgo. But what I'm getting with this more than anything is, again, I'm still seeing that separation. So, I still feel that maybe you're thinking about it now, right? Like maybe they made the offer to you in the past and maybe you were holding off. So maybe it's like you guys are almost in a chess match right now, where they might not be coming through with any more offers. Maybe they've been thinking of another offer, but they're just frustrated because they're like, I don't know what the hell Leo wants from me. I made an offer to them. I don't know. Are they into me? Or are they not into me? And you could just be in your own zone, like trapped in your mind, you know. And that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I'm recording this before we officially get into August, but there was still that energy going on in your 12th house too. So that could lead to you just being trapped in your head in a certain way too. So even though by the time where, if you guys watch this in August, we'll clearly be in Leo season, but for example, I'm recording this as Mercury's back in Cancer, so could just be saying that maybe that's why you're not as communicative. It's just the energy at play right now where everything's going on in your head, and you might even be losing track of time. Like you're just thinking over the offer, and the other person could just be getting frustrated. Like, what's their deal? What are they doing? Are they gonna say yes? Are they gonna say no? Are they even still here? What's going on? So that's the vibe I'm getting there. But yeah, this is definitely an introspective energy. In general, but in this context, that's really what I'm feeling. It's like you're just not really speaking to them right now, because especially looking at the energy on their side in the present, we have the Strength card. So instead of a lion, they have a boar here, but it's basically still the major arcana card for Leo, and I'm thinking about, it looks like she's trying to pry its mouth open. So to me, that represents their energy. So even though, this strength does represent your sign, to me, this is them really trying to get you to open your mouth. Like, can you say something? What's the deal? Like I said, Earth to Leo, you know what I mean? Like, what's the deal? I made you an offer. You're not saying yes. You're not saying no. It doesn't look like you're seeing anyone else. What's going on? So that could be where you're at with this person right now. And I should point out too, since this is the major arcana card for your sign, if you feel like the energy's playing out the other way around, where this sounds more like your energy and this sounds like the other person's, then definitely trust that too. But either way, that's the main thing I'm picking up on there. It's like they're getting frustrated, like, okay, what's the deal? In the future position, we have the fertility card. So this is the equivalent of the Empress in the regular Rider Waite tarot. And first of all, we see a lion there. So technically, even though it's not a Leo card, we see Leo energy on both sides. But so again, this could be pointing to a timeline, just because that lion really stands out, right? They have normal house pets, and they have lions. So it's like, okay. So maybe that's just pointing to a timeline, saying that, yeah, things might definitely shift between the two of you. If you look at the energy here, this is, like I said, the equivalent of the Empress, which sometimes can point to pregnancy already. But here, it definitely looks like there's a shift. And what stands out to me, too, is in the first card, okay, like I said, even though it looks like there's a person behind that curtain there, it looks like very much a solo energy. Here it is, a solo energy. In the future, we actually see the two people together, right? So, like I said, for those of you, if someone was deployed, for example, if you're with someone who's in the military, or even just overseas working or just at a distance from you for whatever reason, looks like the two of you will be coming together. And there's definitely a pretty huge pregnancy vibe here. So if that's something you're looking forward to, by all means, enjoy yourselves. But if not, keep that in mind. There's definitely that vibe popping out there. And in the future position on their side, we have the Knave of Pentacles. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Pentacles. Now, if you look at the artwork, you would definitely get more of a vibe of Cups energy, right? But, there is the Pentacle down there. So, what I'm getting there is, this could just be, let's say, maybe you finally do open up to them, right? Because, like I said, it looks like they're trying to get some words out of you. Like, what's the deal? Like, what is it? A yes? Is it a no? Maybe you communicate about what you want, and maybe you actually let them know that, hey, I'm looking for something more stable. So even if you're not going to get pregnant this month, or you want, you might not want to get pregnant this month, but that could be what you communicate to them. Like, look, I'm at a point where I want something serious. I want to be able to build a future with someone if I'm going to get in a relationship. And maybe with that Knave of Chalices energy in the past, they might have come off across like they just wanted something more casual. So this could just be you letting them know the deal. Like, look, I need something more stable. So this could be them stepping up in that regard, at least going from just the Knave of Chalices to the Knave of Pentacles. That represents a bit more stability, the Pentacles energy, right? But still keeping that passion and emotion in the mix, since there are the cups there. So you kind of the best of both worlds, right? And it still might not be at the pace you want, but at least it does look like they're stepping up. The reason I say may not be at the pace you want is because you have major arcana all across here, which is kind of crazy. And then also at the bottom of the deck, you have more major arcana. You have the balance card, which is the equivalent of the temperance card in the regular tarot. So, this could just be saying that you're really at a high level where you have these expectations. And then if we look at them, two court cards, so that's not too bad, one major arcana, and then at the bottom of the deck they have the Four of Wands, which does represent to me that they do see the potential for stability with you too. It looks like they're definitely very attracted to you, and that could just be their vibe in general. They might come off across like they're more interested in just the sex, but it might not be that. It could be, yes, they're into the sex, but they might see you as someone they could have a stable future with too. It might just be that they just don't communicate it as openly, and maybe that's what happens in the present. You guys finally get that information out there from each other, where you establish what it's about. And if that's the case, I have to say, since I did mention you guys could be dealing with a water sign, it could definitely be Scorpio you guys are dealing with. Where you might have just felt like, oh, they have like all this sexual energy, but beneath that, they're also very much into commitment too. So something to think about there. All right, and let's see if we get some additional messages from the Oracle decks that I use. So first, we'll see if we could get some additional messages from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck I have here. And what I do is I shuffle these before we start recording, but then what I like to do with these spreads in particular is just get through the main spread, then see if we could get some additional messages to jump out from these cards. So I'll shuffle them for a bit. First, I'm going to see if there's any unspoken messages from you toward them. And I'll shuffle for a bit. If nothing comes up, we won't force it. We won't pull from the top or, anything like that. We'll just take it as is. And then we'll do the same for them toward you. So we'll see if there's any unspoken messages from you toward them. They certainly seem to think so with the strength in the present. Like I said, it looks like they're trying to force you to speak up about something. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe the Mercury retrograde, especially going through your 12th house, just had you in a really introspective, reflective mood where you weren't really speaking a lot. Certainly a possibility. shuffle a little bit more. Doesn't like we're getting anything though. Yeah, nothing's coming up. So we'll see if we get anything from them toward you. Any unspoken messages from your love interest toward you. Oh, got one. Okay. All right, so hold on, I'll pick it up. Just got to put the deck down. All right, so we got I'm not the same person that you remember. So that could be, well, hopefully you guys could see that even though it's not focusing too well right now. But I'm not the same person that you remember. So that could just be communicating the fact that, like I said, I was getting the vibe of some kind of distance and separation between the two of you. Like I said, maybe there was someone in the military, maybe they just moved somewhere, maybe you guys grew up together, but they moved to a separate part of the country, and for whatever reason, you guys are coming back around into each other's energy again. But, in the past and the present, it looked like there's very much soul energy there too. And in the future position, we see a couple in both. So that definitely looks promising. And at the bottom of the deck too, while we're at it. So, maybe there was some separation between you guys, and maybe they were trying to get back into your life. And maybe, you were a little bit like, oh, maybe that was how they were in the past, for example, right? Maybe they did have a bit of a player vibe to them in the past. So maybe that's why you're really just holding out to see what their intentions really were. Maybe that was what was going on. And then they prove to you, that, hey, they mean business, that they definitely do see you as a potential long-term partner. But it could just be, like I said, maybe they move a little bit slower than you since you have all the major arcana on your side. But at least they will show you something more tangible with that Knave of Pentacles energy versus the Knave of Chalices, where you might have thought, oh, it was just talk, or they just wanted sex or whatever, All right, let's see if we could get anything from this deck as well. So this is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I use this in regular readings as well. So those of you who watch those, you're probably used to this deck. But let's get one card here, just final messages to wrap up. Looks like a pretty good reading, though. Nope. Got one, but it fell, so give me a second. I have to go pick it up. All right, flexible. So interesting there because, like I was saying, that energy of them looking like they're trying to pry your mouth open, like, well, what's the deal, Leo? So maybe that's a message in of itself. Oh yeah, let me show you the actual artwork and everything before I read the messages. All right, flexible. There's the artwork itself, and the number is 19, which I think is the sun energy in the major arcana too. So points to your energy a bit too. So this message would probably be more for you than them, but we'll see. All right, essential meaning says teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The oracle's message: a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you, too. So yeah, that's pretty funny because it definitely gives me that vibe that I was talking about where, um, well, first of all, saying willing to learn new things, maybe that's what the Hermit was about, right? Maybe it's saying that, okay, you were trying to consider opening up a bit more because, like I said, with the Justice, it really might have been like a really putting your foot down, like, okay, they gave me that offer. I don't think that's good enough. I'm just going to sit here and wait for them to come with something better, right? So they might come along like, okay, well, what do you want me to do, right? So maybe that's what it's saying, that you have to communicate these things with the person and see if you can meet halfway. So maybe that's what was going on there. And as far as it's saying them being more flexible with you too, like I said, if this is more their energy, more of like a Knave of Chalice's energy, and then you tell them, hey, I'm looking for something more stable, moving to that Knave of Pentacles could be saying that that's them making more of an effort to, meet you halfway at least, right? And get that forward progress moving. So, pretty positive message there. All right, the relationship message says, in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. There you go. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You be happy you made that choice. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there. Yeah, like I said, I was picking up on that distance vibe, and maybe that's still a part of the whole picture too. Is like I said, maybe you guys were living at a distance from each other, and then maybe in the future you will be coming together. But it's definitely interesting. I was saying, talking about compromise, and funny too because I mentioned maybe this was a Scorpio, so that would mean both of you guys are fixed signs. So you could definitely be a bit fixed in your ways, no pun intended. So maybe there needs to be some compromise there. But hopefully, you guys got something out of that. Like I said, overall, it looks pretty positive. It looks like there's going to be some conversation that happens in the near future, and then the outcome does seem to be positive, where they at least try to meet you halfway, and looks like some fun energies, quite frankly. So, happy birthday once again, guys, and I'll see you all next month. Bye.